Sometimes a movie comes out with a trailer that's so interesting that I'm just like, I need to go see this just so I can see how this plays out. Yeah, let's talk about Drop. A widowed mother's first date in years takes a terrifying turn when she's bombarded with anonymous, threatening messages on her phone during their upscale dinner, leaving her questioning who is behind the harassment. The movie stars Meghann Fahy, Brendan Sklenar, and Violett Beane. Blumhouse is one of those studios that I just admire and I'm sort of in awe of because they continue to put out movie after movie that is relatively modestly budgeted and almost always turn a profit. And I think Universal is really smart because, they're the parent company of Blumhouse. They're just really smart because they continue to let them do it. And look, I got to say, this is a movie that is very modestly budgeted at $11 million. dollars. I can almost guarantee you they'll make that money opening weekend. And again, the trailers for this movie just made you go, okay, what is going on? How are they going to get out of this? What's the situation? And it's just really smart. And I'm kind of really impressed by that. First off, acting across the board, great. I think Meghann Fahy, I've never seen her before in anything, and I've really been impressed with what I've seen. And yeah, I think she does a great job with what she's given to do here. And Brendan Sklenar, the first time I saw him was in 1923, and immediately you're like, dude, this guy's got charisma. He's a good-looking guy. He should have a pretty good career ahead of him. But even a lot of the supporting characters, and I don't want to say names or anything like that, just if you're going to go see this movie, you need to go in. Look, you saw the trailer maybe, and you're like, yeah, I want to see that. This is a movie where you kind of don't want to know where the twists and turns are coming from. Technically, I think this movie is shot really, really well. And there's a lot of interesting camera moves and interesting compositing that they're doing that I really enjoyed. I was like, this is cool. I mean, for a movie that's that low budget. I mean, come on, $11 million. That's not a lot for a movie. I'm very impressed. I'm impressed with how it looks, how it's edited. Everything is working. And the story, here's the thing. This is a movie that has almost a better premise than the way that it turns out. And I'm not saying that it's bad at all. But what I'm saying is, look, this might have not needed to be seen in a theater. There are things about this movie, and of course the premise, like I said, very, very interesting. It's one of those movies where by the end of it, you're kind of like, all right, like, yeah, that's just the way it works. There's not a whole lot of, it just doesn't, it didn't hit me like I was excited, or anything like that. It just was kind of like, okay. And I will say there are a couple of things, especially toward the end, as things are starting to wrap up. Some decisions made where I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done something different in that situation, but some very smart little misdirects and things like that. I enjoyed that part of it. I will also say that there's a certain character that unfortunately sticks out, especially toward the end, with some wildly placed moments of levity. Like it's almost like, okay, tension, 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 okay, and then joke. And it was like there's a moment in particular that I'm thinking of where this character shows up again, and you're like, in my head, I was like, are they gonna say this line? And they said that line like verbatim, and I was like, wow, okay. So look, I'm not trying to say that this movie is bad. It really isn't. It's fine. And unfortunately there's been a lot of movies this year that I've gone to see in the theater, and I kind of go, I probably didn't need to see this in a theater. This might have actually worked better, Netflix and chill type of situation. Of course, it'll probably be on Peacock, right? Because it's Universal. Anyway, it's fine. Like if you're on a date this weekend, you're going to see a movie. You could do a lot worse. Like for sure, you could do a lot worse. So yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. But I want to hear from you. Did you go and see Drop, and what did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? I mean, did you think they jumped the shark a little bit at the end, or were you kind of like, oh, okay, that's fine. I mean, let's talk about it, because that's what YouTube is for, right? Comments and things, and it helps out the channel too. But speaking of channel, thank you for the support from those members out there. You know who you are, and thank you so much, Rufus the Red and Style Fox. Thank you especially. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.